Yesterday, Trader Nick gave me the crown of the cleanest looking charts.
I would give a medal to James for cleanest looking charts on our live show. So it's got some clean charts. Stick around, you'll see them.
And I've had a couple of people ask, what colors are they? And they do look pretty default. However, what I want to do is go through all the settings I have on the charts because I use different formats, different colors, but they all follow a very similar theme, which is obviously this dark theme with some orange on the area charts and the usual sort of green and red on the candles. So what we'll start off with is the symbols. I've got, basically everything checked here. We've got the body is the standard green color. The hex code for this is 089981. And that's the same for the body, the borders and the wicks. That should be there. The red color is, again, this relatively standard red color down here. The hex code for this one is F7525F. And you can see if you go on the color chart here, it's the third one up on the red column. So that will give you the same candle colors I have. I'm not sure if they are the standard ones you get with TradingView or not. However, status line here, we have the logo, so you'll see that up here where you've got the symbol name and the broker and things. So if we click that on and off, you can see it there. So I have the logo on, I have the title on. I also have the bar change values because I want to see what the difference is between the bars. Other than that, don't really care. Don't care about the volume, don't care about the chart values, etc, etc. For the indicators, I just have the titles. So if I go here, you can see it's just the titles, minimal. I don't need to see all the details for them because I already know them. Obviously, I use them. I know what the settings are. I don't need to see the preview here, and I can still go and edit them. So it's about having only the essential data to make the chart look clean and not filling it up with loads of tags and titles and text and stuff that I don't need or want. So then the scales and lines, we have the currency and units always visible, scale modes and A and L visible on mouse hover. We don't have lock price ratio. Scales placement is auto. We have absolutely no overlapping labels because that looks disgusting. The plus button, actually don't even know what the plus button is. That was on, so let's see what the plus button is here. Oh, okay, so it's that. Doesn't even seem to be on mine. It is what it is. We'll leave that on. I don't really care about that. Countdown to bar close. I always find that useful. I trade bar closes. So, for example, if I'm going in for a buy, I want to wait for a bullish candle to close. So I like to have the timer there, obviously, so I absolutely know when the candle is about to close or about to open. The symbol, we have the name, value, and line. The reason I have the name is more just for ease. It's just quicker to look over here for me rather than over in the other corner. But obviously that's optional. If I'd probably prefer to have it off, but it is what it is. The symbol here, value according to scale. Previous day close is hidden. Don't really need to see that, to be honest. Not part of my trading. Indicators and financials. We have value. Don't need the names here, to be honest. It's, again, no need for all that. The pre and post market, we have the value and line. High and low is hidden, so you can see highs and lows there. Not something I need. Bid and ask is hidden because I don't trade on TradingView. I also don't trade with Pepperstone. I trade with Blueberry Markets, links in the description. So yeah, bid and ask, not relevant for me. We have the day of the week on labels. I find that more than useful. And then the canvas here, we've got the background is an off black. So it's not full black. So it's 0F, 0F, 0F. And that just gives you a slightly off black. So it's not totally dark. It's just like a nice mix of black and grey. Grid lines are off. Again, I don't really like having grid lines. It's not something I use. I always draw S&R by hand. Don't need to see the lines, not relevant for me. Pane separators are invisible. I don't want to see pane separators. I quite like just having it look like this is directly on the chart and not a separate item on the chart, if that makes sense. Crosshair is slightly grey, so again, this is a different color that's not on the color wheel or the color grid. So this is 758696, and this is using the dotted line, so it gives you quite a nice cursor here. Watermark is off again. I don't want to see this on the charts. Don't need to see it. Don't want to see it. It looks ugly. Scales is just white. The text size is 12. I mean, you could use 11. However, I do a lot of content creation and streaming and things, so to make it clear for my viewers, I just leave it as 12. But again, if I could, I'd probably have them at probably 11. The lines are invisible, so again, you can see the technically pane separators down the side here. Don't want to see those either. I like just having a very flat look, if you will. Navigation buttons are visible on mouse hover. Pane is visible on mouse hover. Margins, we have a 10, so if we have a look at what 0 looks like, you can see it reduces the gap essentially at the top here. The bottom, again, if we change that to 0, I actually might just 0 these out. I don't think we need to have them as actually, so just realized I should change this. There we go. Okay, so what I've done is reduce the gap at the top and the bottom. However, I'm leaving it on the right, because if we move over the one on the right, what happens is our chart comes over here, and I don't want to, I can't see where price is automatically here. So I want to have that gap on the right side. Trading, I don't have buy and sell buttons because obviously, like I said, I don't trade on TradingView. So all of that's irrelevant for me. If you do trade on TradingView, obviously you'll likely want to have those on there. Appearance, positions, again, don't need any of that because I actually don't trade on TradingView, so all of that for me is completely irrelevant. Events, I have no ideas because I don't want to see that. Session breaks, again, not really that relevant for me. However, if you are a day trader, then this is probably quite useful. So for example, you could go down, if we sort of go down onto the 15 minutes, then this might be a bit more useful. But again, because I don't trade like that, for me, it just looks like an ugly mess of lots of lines. So let's uncheck that. Economic events. I do like to have economic events because it's just a reminder. It's not something I particularly need, but I quite like having them there. Key facts for today. It is what it is. Don't mind having that there. Latest news in mind. Don't care. Alerts. Obviously, we need to have alerts on here for if you set alerts. But if you don't use alerts, then feel free to uncheck it. And then let's move on to these line charts. So we'll start with the positions here. So my positions are red. So we have the standard red with an opacity of 20. The target color is blue. Again, with an opacity of 20. The line here is the third off white, so almost a gray color with 100% opacity. Text is also white, 100% opacity with a size of 12. We have price labels on. I don't like using compact, so I use I uncheck that. And the always show stats, I also don't like that because obviously then it just always shows what's going on here. I like to be able to click off it. So for my open positions, I like to monitor them with the area chart. And the reason is because you don't get all the noise on an area chart. It just shows you essentially the bodies and not all the noise of the wicks. And I don't really care about that. So it's just a preference when I trade. I like to hold my trades until stop or take profit, or I'll close manually if there's a compelling reason. I won't really close just because of price action. So that's why I use the area charts, just so I don't have to deal with all that. I can just sit here and say, okay, my line chart's going down. I'm fine with that. So here we go. We can go and have a look at the settings here. So the line chart is just this orange. It's a standard orange, and the same with the fill. However, the opacity here is 28, and the price source is close. So obviously we get the closure price, and that's it. Essentially, that's all that matters for me. And then all the other settings are exactly the same. So that's it. And then again, for my currency charts, I use the same settings as the line chart I just showed you. But yeah, very simple stuff. I'm not going to sit here and try and charge you for all this because I've seen people, I change my charts quite often. However, I'm actually happy with this one. So I'll probably leave this one for a while. But, I often Google chart colors and ideas and things for new setups because I quite like to change them up now and again. And I've seen people try and charge for colors, which I think is crazy. So I saw someone trying to charge. I took it into Photoshop and took the colors and did it myself. So there's a tip. If anyone's trying to sell you chart colors, just screenshot it and take the colors from the screenshot and add them to your charts. Don't pay for chart colors. It's absolutely ridiculous. So there you go. That's the colors. I hope this helped. You know, not a super exciting video, but again, people have asked for it. I guess now if I've got the crown of cleanest charts, then I should probably explain what colors I use. So there you go. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. I will see you later.